look what I made. That's really cute. Psychological warfare. Okay, hi everybody. Jewel here. Well, I'm doing my thing of Mercury square Pluto and Mercury in the 12th. So what that means is I dive deep, I see patterns in the bigger scale of things, and then I react to what's going on in the world and I can see the massaging. But it also means that I can be very gullible. Anything with Mercury and the Piscean number 12 is about being really open. And so the hypnotist was up on the stage when I was a kid, and I got hypnotized sitting in the audience. Yeah. Just because I'm like, okay, whatever. Because anything with number 12 is very open, which means you can be very susceptible to crap and garbage. So I can be that, and I have been that. And believe me, I have done that a lot in my life, and it's a long life. And because I'm always telling you I'm old. Um, and I am old. And it's not an insult to say you're old, by the way. Just so you know, it is not an insult to say I'm old. People are like, oh, you're not old. You're not. Yes, I'm fucking old. I'm 74 years old. Old, right? It's not a bad thing. Because see, when you say, oh, you're not old, it makes me like, I'm old. Stop not seeing me. See me. Because you think it's an insult. Your mind says, oh, don't tell her she's old. That'll hurt her feelings. It's just real, people. It's just real. All right, so back to the subject at hand, which is about Mercury in the any of the Piscean energies. So Mercury in the 12th, Mercury in Pisces, and that sort of thing, that makes it a problem. But mine is square Pluto. Well, what is Pluto? Pluto is I'm gonna change your life right now, and you're not gonna like it because I'm gonna make you die, motherfucker. All right, so nobody likes that. It's really painful and awful. But guess what? After you go through all the horror, then you got a baby. Pluto's birth and death. So now we combine Pluto and Neptune, and you can watch all the other fancy astrologers that do all the wonderful charts and stuff, and you should, because there's some really great ones like Dan Waits and well, he's the one I've been watching lately. Anyway, so it's the Neptunian thing that's coming in, and we're looking at Pluto Neptune stuff, and what we're doing now is getting the fifth. Here it is. This is the whole point. I always bury the lead. So you have to stay tuned because you never know what I'm going to say next, because I have this habit of burying the lead, because when I tell a story, I like to start out with, I don't know, goofy stuff. And then I get down to the subject. It's like, oh, what does she really mean? So what I really mean here is what I'm seeing today is all these bombings and these weird people and the trucks and the exploding and where they're doing it. And what the heck? Why now? Whoa, now this is interesting, you see, because what this Neptunian thing is, what Cam White really got into it. Cam White, he's another guy I like. What a cute young man. Of course, I'm an old lady. I get to dote on the young. Now, here's the thing. This is called fifth generation warfare. So, and he went through this whole thing. And if you watch Cam White's deal on the fifth generation warfare, you're going to see it. And what he said is that first generation is I stab you in the eye. Second generation is I get my pals over and we go over and beat your heads in. And third generation, we shoot you with guns. Well, we line up in a line and shoot each other with guns. And fourth generation is, I don't know, what was that? Bombing from airplanes. Fifth generation warfare is psyops. Now, our government and our culture has been working on psychological stuff now for quite a while. And one of the big psyops is actually the field of psychology, because in psychology, they have a book and it's called the DSM, and now they're on number 5. So what that book does is it tells you all the symptoms of how you're crazy and what's wrong and broken in your heart or your mind. So that's a thing. Now, I think that pairs very nicely with the fifth generation psychological warfare thing that's going on right now. You see? Why, when our new president's going to be popped into office really soon, is all this crazy bombing going on? Bomb Iran, bomb this, kill that, mass murder. I mean, it's like, It's horrific what these toppers do. Now, I'm not going to give the toppers a name other than that. But there are toppers who are doing stuff for their own motivations. And we can't know that because you and I are human people with emotions and human connections. The toppers are elsewhere, emotionally, mentally, whatever. The toppers are, and they've been doing a program and they've been mesmerizing us. And I've been mesmerized. You know, I see all the women trying to run around and have sex like a man, see the women want to kill their babies. You know, yeah. Anyway, this is all hypnotism. Now they're going to tell you you need to do this, and especially women, because the feminine yin, here we go, yin receives and holds. We women have bodies that are made to reflect that property. Yin holds and receives. It receives and it holds. And what does she do with it? She makes beautiful little babies. Yes, she does. They're so cute. And they just come out. They're so helpless. And you have to feed them. This is yin. And we receive all these messages from the toppers. And then the women, we play out what they have programmed in us. I have been a willing dupe all my life. All my friggin' life. And what happened? I hurt my family, my loved ones. I had to run and hide. I mean, bad shit, not good. Point being, I'm still every day I have to struggle against my desire and my innate property of receiving and accepting what the toppers are telling me, you see. So what I want you to know is that there's a program going on, and that program, here we go, here's the lead. They want us to feel unsafe. And if we feel unsafe, then they can come in and say they will protect us. It's that simple. So all we have to do is accept the fact that we are mortal beings and we are also immortal beings. Because either or is not our friend. Either or is not your friend. You want yes and. Let's play along. How can we play along with this like improv? I know improv has a bad name, I heard, but to me, I love it. I think it's great because what happens is we develop this idea of how do I hear what you're saying and go along with it, but with my perspective. I hear you're telling me, oh, you have to be afraid now because they're bombers and they have foreign names and they're terrorists. Am I allowed to say that T word? I don't know. I should bleep it. I think I will. All right. Point being, do you see where I'm going with this? And America is got like a bunch of planets in Cancer in the 8th house. Now, if there isn't anything more yin than that, then there isn't, unless it's all in the 12th. Americans are gullible and we love to hear how we nurture the babies in the world and how we're good and we're good mommies and we care for others. And this has lured us in to having the toppers manipulate our minds and hearts. Now we've got Pluto going into Aquarius. And so what does that mean? The people are going to send out their message because Aquarius is about messaging. Yeah? Aquarius says, here's a thought, here's a new thought, because Aquarius is novelty. But beware, because it's also ruled by Saturn in the old way, not just Uranus. And the ancients were not wrong about it. Because the idea is that Saturn, Saturn is yin. Oh, here I go again on another tangent, right? Saturn in Capricorn is yin. It's the old lady, it's the mountain, it's the hard earth, it's the crystal. Those are all feminine constructs. But when Saturn is ruling Aquarius, what does Saturn do? Shapes and structures. So an Aquarius is going to shape and structure our what? Our novelties. Yeah. So we have to be careful now not to fall in and let them restructure, let the toppers restructure what looks like a new thing to us. We need to watch it. We need to remain the people, open the church and the steeple and open the church and there's all the people. Remember that? That was when I was a kid. We have to watch out for this, you see. And so all of this media input, because it's juicy and it's programmatic and it's powerful. And the toppers use it. I mean, there's only six stations now. Only 6 programmers. Can you imagine with billions of people, we have 6 critters? I don't know what to call them. You know, like that? I'm an artist. You have to excuse me. I do everything as artistic. I have to balance. Oh, I like that. So 6 critters telling 8 billion people what to do and how to think and what to feel. And they're all telling us all to feel scared and unsafe, because guess what? If we let them be in charge, we are unsafe, because they are not a person. They are an entity, the toppers. So when I saw all of this morning, and I see, oh, gotta do the hair sometimes, and I see all of these media, because I'm a media junkie, no question. But what I think the reason I do that is that I've been training myself to see the pattern, right? And you should do that. Just like you see, I don't watch commercials, but every now and then I turn on a TV station instead of an internet station. And the commercials are just overstimulation, 100% big, happy smiles. That's how I feel when I watch. Ooh, it's just, you look at me. I see, I just embodied that. Yikes. Just get away from that. Get away from those impulsed. They're impulsing on you. They're pulsing at you, you see. And this 5th generation warfare is powerful, but only if we allow it to permeate ourselves. We need to get our balance, our spiritual reality, and know, yes, you are mortal. Yes, don't fear death. That's what they want you to do. They want you to fear death. And this is tricky. It's tricky to talk about this because I don't want to people think, oh, you're a death culter, you know. I'm not, don't drink the Kool-Aid, right? But let's be fearless in living. I think that sounds good. Let me end with that today. Let us be fearless beings who are living in truth and integrity and understanding. Ooh, that's a very important piece of the Pisces and number 12th house puzzle, is understanding. Let's understand what the toppers are trying to get us to do. They want us to go into a field and they'll put a fence around us. And they will, like the Matrix, they're going to do with us what they will. We need to be together. We need to start, we don't have to love each other, because I know 2 people I freaking hate. I just hate them. And they're not here, they're elsewhere. But I'm just saying, you don't have to be a hippy dippy, I love everybody. You don't have to do that. But you do have to say, I can hear you. I hear you. And this is what I'm hearing you say. And then you repeat it back to them. And then you have what we used to call a conversation, you see? All right, more coming. You know what? We need to talk and think about this. Now, the esoteric stuff is really important. And if you can learn it, for yourself, to know yourself, then you can know how you can massage the whole thing, how you can fit better into the scene that we're all in together. Okay? I have to remind you to like my video and to subscribe to my channel and to go to my Substack and what else? All the stuff I need you to do so that I can push this message out into the world. I feel like that's my job. So thank you.